The movie begins in 1982 at Freddy's Pizza Restaurant, where everything seems cheerful as kids play games and have fun. In the middle of the noise and excitement, a girl named Charlotte waits for her favorite animatronic. While she's waiting, another girl comes up to her and invites her to sit with their group. Charlotte joins them, but soon notices a man in a yellow rabbit costume slipping around the restaurant, up to his usual disturbing behavior. She watches as he quietly captures one of his victims. Horrified, Charlotte runs to nearby parents and begs for help, but everyone is too distracted to pay attention. Realizing no one will listen, she decides to save the boy on her own. She sneaks into a dark alley and finds that William has already knocked the boy and is casually washing dishes. Charlotte creeps toward the boy, but William suddenly vanishes. She picks the boy up and tries to run, but William grabs a knife and chases her while she carries him in her arms. Charlotte screams as loudly as she can, hoping someone will finally notice what's happening. The boy wakes up and returns to his family, but everyone looks on in shock as Charlotte collapses with a stab wound in her back. She falls into a nearby chamber and dies right in front of the crowd. The marionette appears at that moment, gently holding her body. Time passes. An investigation is conducted, but William avoids all responsibility. He claims Charlotte wandered into a restricted area and accidentally hurt herself, and the case is quietly dismissed as though nothing ever happened. In the present day, Vanessa is still haunted by nightmares about her father. Though she finds comfort in her growing friendship with Mike, Mike calls to check on her and asks if she wants to hang out later. They keep spending time together with his friends. Abby starts getting suspicious of Mike and teases him about his date before heading off to school. Later, Jeremiah shows up to repaint their house and warns Mike to stay away from Charlotte, saying there's something strange about her. Mike defends Charlotte, explaining that he's just trying to protect Abby because she's already been through a lot. On the bus, Abby tells her classmates a story about Vanessa and the yellow rabbit, claiming the rabbit's body is still inside, but none of the kids believe her. They just think she's making things up. At school, during robotics class, the teacher announces that everyone must finish their project by Friday or they'll all fail. He clearly doesn't like Abby, especially now that her family is connected to the animatronics. He believes the school focuses on real robotics, so he's always dismissive of her. One boy, impressed by Abby's talent, suggests that maybe she should fix her animatronic friends herself. That idea sparks her curiosity. That night, Mike gets ready for his date with Vanessa and tells Abby to behave while he's gone. Abby asks if she can visit her animatronic friends, but Mike refuses, promising he'll fix them soon and encouraging her to make some real friends in the meantime. Upset, Abby watches a horror show on TV while Mike assures her they'll talk when he gets back. Later that evening, Mike waits for Vanessa at a restaurant. She arrives, wearing a beautiful dress and tells him this isn't just a casual meetup. She explains she's been taking classes to distract herself, while Mike admits he has no idea how to deal with Abby and her strange connection to the animatronics. Charlotte advises him to just be honest with Abby, and Mike, in return, tries to comfort her about her troubling dreams and her father. When Mike finally gets home, he finds out Abby is gone. She left a note saying she went to visit her animatronic friends. Panicked, he rushes to Freddy's where Abby realizes Mike had been lying to her. Mike finds her in the middle of the empty pizzeria, but the animatronics are nowhere to be seen. He tells Abby they should leave, suggesting maybe the spirits of the animatronics have already moved on. To make her feel better, he offers her a toy, and Abby picks out a realistic, interactive one that Mike lets her keep. As they're about to leave, Mike notices a strange poster on the wall. It claims Freddy is a murderer and even lists a number to call. Meanwhile, a group of kids who call themselves ghost hunters arrive at Freddy's. They make fake documentary videos, and their leader, Lisa, tells them this is their first and probably their scariest location. Michael, the boy who invited them, welcomes the group and gives them a tour, showing different versions of Freddy and the other animatronics. As they look around, Lisa hears music playing somewhere in the building and decides to stay behind. She suggests they all split up. Michael smiles, clearly pleased with how everything is unfolding. Lisa follows the music into a back room. At the same time, Alex wanders through the building, notices something strange about the instruments, and accidentally falls into the water below the stage. Lisa finds a huge gift box next to a music box. She turns the music off and leans in to listen. Suddenly, the large box opens on its own and the marionette leaps out, scaring her. The noise triggers the other animatronics and they all begin to move. Michael laughs, revealing that this was his plan from the beginning. Alex is attacked and killed by one of the animatronics. The boy who fell into the water sees a marionette drop in with him, and he is overwhelmed when hundreds more come after him. Michael eventually finds Lisa, but she is no longer herself. The marionette entity has taken control of her. When she charges at him, Michael runs out of Freddy's and smiles the moment he reaches the outside. The next day, Abby tries to work on her project for an upcoming competition, but she can't concentrate. She keeps thinking about her animatronic friends and tries to communicate with them, already missing them. Mike notices her struggle, but doesn't know how to help her. He can tell she has forgotten them. Elsewhere, Vanessa tries to follow Mike's advice and goes for a bike ride, but she can't escape the visions of her father. She sees him everywhere she turns. Shaken, she hides in a changing room and even points her gun at her trainer, convinced he is her father in disguise. After class, Vanessa tries to confront her fear. She gathers all of her father's belongings and closes the windows. Thinking about their past, she imagines herself facing him and telling him she is no longer afraid. But in her vision, he begins to chase her. The younger version of Vanessa runs into a room and locks the door while her father searches for her. She watches an animatronic activate and get caught. Her father's voice echoes, telling her that she will always belong to him. Vanessa keeps running and imagines herself striking him down before she suddenly wakes up. That night, while Abby sleeps, she receives a message from Chica, asking for help and giving her the address of the original Freddy's Pizza. Abby sneaks out of the house and heads to the old place. Inside, everything seems empty at first, until Chica suddenly steps out of the shadows. Abby lights up with relief and runs to her. The two of them reunite like long-lost friends and spend time catching up. A few days later, Vanessa shows up at Mike's house, worried and searching for Mike and Abby. Then, she finds the strange toy sitting in Abby's room. But before she can process it, Abby jumps out and scares her. Abby explains that the toy actually led her to Chica and the others at the original Freddy's location. Vanessa tries to warn Mike about what Abby is getting involved in, but Mike brushes it off, assuming Abby is just talking about the radio he gave her. Then Mike drops a bombshell. He called Vanessa the number on the paper and learned that William attacked even more victims than she ever told him about. Vanessa kept all of it secret. Mike insists he only wanted to help her, but Vanessa takes it as him treating her trauma like a problem he needs to fix, and it pushes her away. Later, Mike drops Abby off at her technology competition, promising he'll be right back. At the same time, Vanessa sneaks into the old Freddy's building. She reveals she has always known about Charlotte, the girl from the beginning. Charlotte, now the one controlling the animatronics, tells Vanessa she plans to remove the barrier, keeping them trapped. Vanessa suddenly realizes that Charlotte is using Lisa's body, and she is coming for her next. Back at the competition, Abby is excited to enter her robot, but things go wrong fast. Her teacher intentionally sabotages the project and breaks it. Crushed, Abby returns to the animatronics and confides in Chica about what happened. Chica gently offers to become Abby's project herself, but first, Abby has to help remove the barrier that's been keeping Chica and the others locked inside. She writes down the secret code that will free them. Meanwhile, Charlotte captures Vanessa and forces her to give up the same code, threatening Abby's life. Vanessa finally gives in. Abby enters the code, and the animatronics are freed. Chica even hails a cab and heads directly to Abby's school. Mike, following his own leads, visits Charlotte's father. The old man reveals he believes his daughter was murdered and has collected evidence for years. He tells Mike about the river rides at Freddy's, rides that could only be accessed at the original location. During their conversation, Mike calls the school and learns Abby never showed up. Before he leaves, Charlotte's father hands him her music box, the one she used to fall asleep to. It will matter later. Mike races to the original Freddy's. When he arrives, he finds animatronics scattered everywhere, damaged and broken, including Charlotte's. Panic rising, he searches the dark building for Abby. At school, Abby brings Chica to the competition, but things go wrong immediately. The teacher assumes someone is inside the suit and disqualifies her on the spot. Later, when he returns to grab his keys, he hears a strange noise. Before he can react, Chica grabs him and drags him into the room. He tries desperately to escape, but he doesn't make it. Chica kills him. Meanwhile, Mike arrives at the original Freddy's location and finds Vanessa tied up. She tells him that Charlotte is there. Mike decides to stay and disconnects Charlotte's control system. He and Vanessa separate, each taking different paths toward the security room. Along the way, Vanessa explains what Charlotte's last days were like, how much anger she held inside, and how the only thing that ever calmed her was her music box. Mike tells her he has that music box with him. While moving through the building, Mike slips into the water and barely escapes an animatronic attack. Vanessa reveals that some of the animatronics are hunting down the parents who ignored Charlotte the day she died. Mike tells her to go find Abby while he handles the rest. Back at the school, Abby wins the competition with Chica. At the same time, a group of prototype animatronics suddenly activates. Mike eventually finds Freddy's location and tries to contact Vanessa, but the noises around him grow louder and the connection cuts off. An animatronic attacks Vanessa's car, causing her to crash. She manages to escape and rushes to the parents' home in time to save them. Charlotte realizes someone is working against her, and she activates even more prototypes to attack Mike. Luckily, he fights them off and successfully shut them down. He calls Vanessa to tell her everything is disabled, but then notices one system still active at his house. He immediately runs there. Charlotte, now possessing Chica's body, arrives first and kidnaps Abby. Vanessa's car breaks down, but Jeremiah shows up and drives her to Mike's house. Vanessa tries to help, only to discover that Charlotte has moved into Abby's body. She begs Charlotte to let her go and fights to pull her free. Mike arrives just in time and uses the music box to drive Charlotte out, saving both Vanessa and Abby. But the animatronics reactivate and surround them. Then Michael arrives, revealing that he is Vanessa's brother, and plans to carry on their father's dark legacy. Before he can act, the animatronics from the previous movie appear and destroy Michael's machines. Earlier, Mike had visited their location to ask for help, and now they've come to save him. Freddy and Chica join the fight against the rest. Suddenly, all animatronic systems begin to fail, and one by one they shut down. Chica's spirit tells Mike to take care of Abby, because they will no longer be there to protect her. Michael tries to escape, but the good animatronics knock him down. Before they leave, they warn Mike that now that they are gone, he will finally be freed. Mike doesn't understand what they mean, but there's no time to ask. He takes Abby away and pulls back from Vanessa, no longer trusting her after all the secrets she kept. Vanessa is left alone, unaware that Charlotte's spirit has slipped inside her and taken control. No one sees it happen. The movie ends there. Thank you so much for watching this video.